Alright, Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakakodash, double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstone that rule well in Shalom to Akim, teaching this word around the world with faith and truth and in sincerity. This is Brother Caleb from the GMS London Forecasters Camp, back with another lesson to edify the Lord's elect, Lord willing. As always, I'd like to start by saying that we are the real Hebrew Israelites. The real Israelites are called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, West Indians, and West Africans predominantly. However, you are going to get Israelites that do look like the other nations because Israel as a people has been scattered amongst all people throughout our various captivities. But if your seed line by your forefathers goes back to the man in the Bible that was named Israel, then you too are an Israelite no matter what you may look like. Because the book of Numbers, chapter 1 and verse 18, states that your nationality is determined by the lineage of your forefathers. Okay, so I'm just going to do a quick lesson on this topic, which I'm sure many of you have heard about by now. This is from Sky News. It says Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, has died. Alright, so this guy here on the screen, they can't really show this guy in a positive light, man, because you can just look at this man's face and tell he's wicked, you know. And he was there hoping to see the New World Order agenda fulfilled within his lifetime. But guess what? The Most High has taken his spirit, and now he's in the spirit realm. So all his planning, scheming has come to effectively naught. Let me read this article and then I'll get some precepts. It says Buckingham Palace has announced that His Royal Highness Prince Philip has died. It says Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, has died at the age of 99, Buckingham Palace has said. The statement from the palace said it is with deep sorrow that Her Majesty the Queen has announced the death of her beloved husband, His Royal Highness the Prince Philip of Duke of Edinburgh. His Royal Highness has passed away peacefully this morning at Windsor Castle. The Duke was married to Queen Elizabeth II for more than 70 years and became the longest serving consort in British history. He was due to turn 100 in 2 months' time on June the 10th. His cause of death has not been yet announced. Well, let me save you the time. His cause of death was the Most High. Let's get that precept. It says, Deuteronomy 32 verse 39, it says, See now that I, even I am He, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. So that was Prince Philip's cause of death. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Read it again. Deuteronomy 32 verse 39. See now that I, even I am He, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. So let's continue on. It says Prince Philip had returned to Windsor Castle on March 16th after spending nearly a month in hospital, his longest ever stay. He initially received care for an infection but then underwent a heart procedure for a pre-existing condition. While he was at King Edward VII's hospital, he was visited by his eldest son Charles, the Prince of Wales, who made a 200-mile round trip to see his father. Into his 90s, the Duke carried out a busy program of public engagements reflecting his own charitable interests. Ain't nothing charitable about these Edomites, man. All they were doing is reflecting their own personal interests. He also travelled around the country, supporting the Queen both on state occasions and royal visits. For a man of his age, he enjoyed relatively good health. This guy don't look like he's in good health, man. This guy looks like a walking corpse. He was taken to hospital over Christmas in 2011 for treatment for blocked artery. at this guy's face, man. That's a straight up Edomite devil right there, man. In 2012, he was admitted to hospital during the Queen's Diamond Jubilee with a bladder infection, and in 2013, had an exploratory operation on his abdomen. But it was not until May 2017, after carrying out more than 20,000 solo public engagements, that the 96-year-old retired from his own program of royal duties, occasionally stepping out to support the Queen for big events. No official details have been released yet about the Duke's funeral, but it is understood he will be given a royal ceremonial funeral rather than a state funeral in line with his wishes. The Queen will sign off the final plans in the coming days. Prince Philip of Greece and Denmark was born on the island of Corfu in 1921. It's lucky. At the age of 18, the Prince joined the Royal Navy as a cadet. Look at this guy's face, man. He saw active service during the Second World War, serving in the Indian Ocean and the Mediterranean, as mentioned in dispatches for his bravery. In 1947, he renounced his Greek and Danish royal titles, took on the surname of Mountbatten, and became a naturalized British subject ahead of his marriage to Princess Elizabeth. Their wedding was the first Greek state occasion after the end of the Second World War. His commitment to the Queen was unfaltering. He gave up his career in the Navy to support her in her role as monarch. The Queen has described Prince Philip as her constant strength and stay. They had 4 children: Charles, Anne, Andrew, and Edward, and he was a much loved grandfather and great-grandfather. He saw himself as a modernizer within the British monarchy, orchestrating the first royal walkabout, but he was also known for his forthright views and off-the-cuff remarks. Prince Philip's concern for young people inspired him to create the Duke of Edinburgh's award scheme, and he supported more than 800 charities and good causes, focusing on his interests in wildlife conservation, technology, and sport. Since the 1940s, Prince Philip was an ever-present figure in the life of the UK, and leaves behind his own considerable legacy. Yeah, legacy of wickedness, man. Let's get some precepts. Bear with me. Let me get Psalms 64. Now let me get Obadiah 1 first. This is the book of Obadiah. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord power concerning Edom. So who is Edom? For those of you who don't know, Edom is predominantly the so-called white people on this earth. They are known as the wicked, according to the Bible, and they are the descendants of their biblical forefather Esau, who is the twin brother of our biblical forefather Jacob. And the enmity between Jacob and Esau is one of the major controversies on this earth. Let's get this for edification's sake. Going back to Genesis, the 25th chapter. Genesis 25, starting from verse 19. And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begot Isaac. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Padan Aram, the sister of Laban the Syrian. And Isaac entreated Yahweh for his wife, because she was barren. And Yahweh was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, If it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of Yahweh. And Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. Now that name Esau is Asashur, which means wasted away, is he. Now as you can see in these pictures, the Prince Philip's shirt collar is white. His skin is red. That's because he is an Edomite. Yeah? He goes back to his biblical forefather Esau. Again, you can see it here. This guy's skin ain't white. This guy's skin ain't white. It's more towards red because his blood shows forth through his skin. Because they've got no melanin. See, it's Edomites. Back to the scriptures. And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And after that came out his brother, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare him. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. And Jacob sowed pottage, and Esau came in from the field and was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, Feed me, I pray thee, with the same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. Edom means red. Yeah? And Jacob said, Sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, Behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me? And Jacob said, Swear to me this day. And he swore unto him, and sold his birthright unto Jacob. And Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. So these Edomites sold their birthright, yeah? Going on to Genesis 27. After Esau sold his birthright, Jacob got the blessing. And I'm going to read from 37. Genesis 27:36 actually. And he said, Is he not rightly named Jacob? For he hath supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and now behold, he hath taken away my blessing. And has that now not received one blessing from me? That's what Esau said unto his father Isaac. And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, Hast now not but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling place shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword thou shalt live, and thou shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass that when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And here's the point. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. As Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then when I slay my brother Jacob. You know? So that was Esau's intention from day dot. Genesis 35 and 1 states, no, 36, Salakia. Now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom. So it goes through and it tells you the generations of Esau and the various tribes within their nation. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is because Prince Philip is an Edomite, and that old ancient hatred that he had towards towards Jacob himself and his descendants, which are us Israelites, has not diminished. It has not wavered, and it has not gone away. So they've been scheming for the longest to try and wipe our people out of existence and to try and reclaim their birthright. So I'm going to go to Psalms, the 64th chapter. Psalm 64 from the first verse, it says, "To the chief musician, a psalm of David. Hear my voice, O power, in my prayer, and preserve my life from the fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, and from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. But the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves, and all that see them shall flee away. And men shall fear, and shall declare the work of the Most High, for they shall wisely consider of his doings. The righteous shall be glad in Yahweh, and shall trust in him, and all upright in heart shall glory." So basically, there's been for the longest time a secret council of these elite banking families against the children of the nation of Israel and against the people of the world in general. Even their own people, the lower level Edomites, they want to depopulate this earth so that they can bring about their own new world order. Now, going to the book of Obadiah. Is that what I want? Let me see where I want to go. And let's go to Ecclesiastes 12 and 7, I believe. It's Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 7. Now, this is what happens when a person dies. It says, "And then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto the Most High who made it." Yeah? So, basically, now that this Prince Philip has died, the dust of his body is going to return to the earth, but his spirit is now before the judgment throne of the Most High. And what's happening right now is he's been told his judgment, and his judgment is going to be to come back through the reincarnation, and he's going to go headfirst into slavery. So basically, it's going to be like a short pit stop, a short brief rest, because it's going to be in the spiritual realm. And in the spiritual realm, he's going to be in his right mind. He's going to know that the Most High does reign in the kingdom of men. And he's going to come back in his lot as an Edomite baby in the future, straight into slavery. And he's going to serve 1,000 years of hardcore bondage and slavery, and then ultimately be destroyed. Because that's the judgment that was written in the book of Obadiah. Let's get that. The book of Obadiah, chapter 1 and 1 on down. It says, "The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord power concerning Edom. We've heard a rumour from Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, and that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle." Now, if you look at the symbols of the Roman Empire, and even America, Babylon the Great, you see the eagle there. It says, "Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nests among the stars, then from thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh. If these came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Shall I not in that day, saith Yahweh, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and the understanding out of the mount of Esau. And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. Let's read that again. Obadiah 1 verse 9. And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. In that day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, when foreigners entered into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou wast one of them. But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother, in the day he became a stranger, neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction, neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in that day of their calamity. Yea, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, or have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. Neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those that did escape. Neither shouldest thou have delivered up those that did remain in the day of distress. For the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, meaning the northern and southern kingdoms of Israel, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh has spoken it. And they of the south shall possess the mount of Esau, and they of the plains of the Philistines, and they shall possess the fields of Ephraim and the fields of Samaria, and Benjamin shall possess Gilead. And the captivity of the host of the children of Israel shall possess that of the Canaanites, even unto Zarephath, and the captivity of Jerusalem, which is in Seraphat, shall possess the cities of the south. And saviours shall come up upon Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be Yahweh's. So that's the judgment for you Edomites. You're going to be done away with. Now I want to get one more precept, if I may. Bear with me. Yeah, Psalms 49 verse 11. Yeah, here we go. This is exactly what I want. Let me read from verse 1. Psalms 49 and 1. To the chief musician, the psalm of the sons of Korah. Hear this, all ye people. Give ear, all ye inhabitants of the world. Both low and high, rich and poor together. My mouth shall speak of wisdom, and the meditation of my heart shall be of understanding. I will incline my ear unto a parable. I will open my dark saying upon the harp. Wherefore should I fear in the days of evil, when the iniquity of my heels shall compass me about? They that trust in their wealth and boast themselves in the multitude of their riches, such as this dude here, Prince Philip, he trusted in his wealth, he trusted in his secret councils. You know, he thought he was gonna get his new world order agenda done and dusted within his lifetime. Guess what? He was wrong. Yeah. I will incline my ear to a parable. I will open up my dark saying upon the harp. Wherefore should I fear in the days of evil, when the iniquity of my heel shall compass me about? They that trust in their wealth and boast themselves in the multitude of their riches, none of them can by any means redeem his brother, nor give to the Most High a ransom for him. For the redemption of their souls is precious, and it ceaseth forever, that he should still live forever and not see corruption. For he seeth that wise men die, likewise the fool and the brutish person perish, and leave their wealth to others. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. You know? Yeah, that was their inward thought. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. Well, I just read the book of Obadiah, which cuts that thought asunder, straight up and down. You know, they're not going to achieve their new world order because the Most High is in control, and the mind of the king is in the Most High's hand, and he turns it whithersoever he willeth. So at the end of the day, Esau thought he was doing his own agenda, but ultimately it's the Most High has been playing him like a puppet, like a puppet on a puppet string. So while they think they've been doing their own will and trying to oppress and destroy the people of the world, predominantly us blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, Hispanics, West Indians, West Africans, us Israelites, ultimately they were just a whipping stick that is being used by the Most High to punish us for our iniquities, you know? So yeah, the fact of the matter is that none of the Esau's plans are going to come to fruition. All that's going to be done is it's going to help further the truth and the will of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, because the Most High, Yahweh, is in total control of both the left hand and the right hand, the good and the bad. So all of this is vanity that Esau's trying to do and accomplish. And Prince Philip knows that now, because right now he's in the spiritual realm and he can see everything. He can see the judgment throne of the Most High. He can see the angels, and he knows that, you know what, when he comes back, he's going headfirst into slavery, and it's going to be a bitter bondage. Let me get one more precept. Yeah, I want to get Psalms 149 and verse 8. Now let's read from 1. This is a short psalm but a sweet psalm. This is praise ye Yahweh, sing unto Yahweh a new song, and his praise in the congregation of saints. Let Israel rejoice in him that made him. Let the children of Zion be joyful in their king. Let them praise his name in the dance. Let them sing praises unto him with a timbrel and a harp. For Yahweh hath taken pleasure in his people, and will beautify the meek with salvation. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people. Here's the point: to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints, praise ye Yahweh. So we're going to bind Prince Philip here with chains and fetters of iron. He's going into slavery hardcore, man. That's all he's got to look forward to for the next 1,000 years. After he gets reincarnated, you're going head first into slavery, and we're gonna do unto you double in light of what you did unto us, because the Most High said, render unto them double. You know, We're going to do it in righteousness, but you're going to be catching hell from every which way, from north, from south, from east, from west, from up, from down, from left, from right. All 24 hours of the day, you're going to be catching hell. The only day you're going to have any respite is on the Sabbath days. That's the only time you're going to have any kind of rest. But other than that, you got a heavy tab to pay, man. You got a lot of debts to pay off for all the wickedness that you and your forefathers have done throughout your various generations. So not to make it too long, giving all praises, honor and glory giving all praises, honor and glory unto Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahushai, B'Hashem Rakakwadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Most Standard Ruwa and Shalom, to you Arkim teaching this word around the globe with faith and truth and in sincerity. And until the next lesson, I'm able to do Lord's willing, I'll say Shalom, Wa Abba Wa Kram Yeshua, Shalom.